This is Marley K. Got some banking news for y'all. Um, it's highly suspicious because it's all happening at the end of the week. Um, it could just be a sign of things to come. It could be the beginning of the bad with the banking industry, which will lead to all the other things that could go wrong with banking failures, and this time no government intervention. So again, if you do have assets that need protecting, now is the time to do that. If you have resources that you can use to shore up things at your house, go ahead and do those things. If you have resources to pay off things, if you have credit cards, car payment balances, um, lines of credit. I would be trying to get rid of those things if possible. Try to get rid of those things because it's really getting ready to get bad, and you don't want to have anything that is going to be accruing interest in the event you can't access your resources with interest rates going high. And you also don't want to be going into debt if you don't have to. All right. So this story is from 4 News. I think it's NBC News 4. Wells Fargo customers report missing deposits. And this story came out on March the 10th, which is yesterday. Upset customers began reaching out to the bank on social media overnight Thursday to report recent deposits that had been listed in their account were now missing, or deposits expected Friday were not there. So people went to the bank online to find that their deposits were missing or their direct deposits were not available. So can you imagine you're supposed to get paid Friday and you didn't get paid because of banking glitch? This is like the second time this has happened this year. It happened with Bank of America. It's the second largest bank to have that occur. What is also interesting is that these are two of the banks that the CBDC is being piloted with. They're doing this digital currency pilot. So just keep an eye out, people. Some Wells Fargo customers woke up Friday morning to find deposits missing from their checking accounts. In a statement to NBC, the bank acknowledged some direct deposit transactions were not showing up in accounts and that they were working on a resolution. Wells Fargo said the accounts were safe and secure. Friday evening, the bank said the issue would be resolved by Saturday and any fees incurred by the issue would be refunded. We've been actively working to resolve the issue impacting certain customers who cannot see direct deposit transactions in their account, the statement said. The issue will be resolved no later than tomorrow, Saturday, March the 11th. We will also refund fees incurred by the issue. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience caused by this. So they're telling the customers that it was a technical issue, but no one knows. And it's really interesting that the timing coincides with the Silicon Valley Bank. So here, I want to say this article came out yesterday. It doesn't really have a date on here. So this is on MSN, but it's originally from Markets Insider. And it says Silicon Valley Bank imploded in a single day. It could be just the tip. It could just be the tip of the iceberg. The Federal Reserve's prolonged period of low interest rates created many financial dislocations that are now flaring up. Case in point, Silicon Valley Bank imploded in a single day after surging interest rates caused it to sell a bond portfolio at a huge loss. The situation is an example of how low interest rate risk taking can backfire as financial conditions tighten. The market on Friday watched as regulators shut the doors at Silicon Valley Bank, capping off a speedy decline and marking the biggest bank failure since 2008. And I want to say this is the second largest bank failure in American history. So it's really interesting that these big banks are failing and that they're requiring assistance to just, you know, give people some money because people were demanding their money and they couldn't get it out. So this is going to be a recurring theme again, which is why it's really important for if you have money, you protect it. Put it in something that is going to be tangible, tradable, and that you can put in your house in a safe or hide it in a hole in your floor. Something better than leaving it to shifty, shady thieves. The bank's collapse was a byproduct of the Federal Reserve's hiking of interest rates by 1,700% in less than 1 year. Once risk-free treasuries started generating more attractive returns than what SVB was offering, people started withdrawing their money, and the bank needed a quick way to pay them. They were ultimately forced to sell their loan portfolio at a huge loss. The other interesting thing is that apparently people knew something was coming and they have been withdrawing their money earlier in the week. So again, these things happening on a Friday is not a someplace else. I know, we have nuclear something escalating. We're having financial. They're still playing with the bird flu, the stuff that's happening in Europe. So there's a lot falling down all over the place. So you really got to pay attention, but you don't know what to pay attention to. But pay attention. The chaotic episode showed that the Fed's aggressive interest rate hiking regime could upend institutions that were once thought to be relatively stable. It appears that any rate sensitivity is about to be laid bare and past risk-taking behavior held accountable. So that just means they're ready to collapse the banking system because they must have whatever they want to have in place before, um, before they needed to collapse it. So maybe all the chips are in place, or they need a distraction. In any event, just be ready. The last bank that collapsed was the crypto bank. It is also in California, Silvergate Bank. And this story came out on March the 9th, and it's from the street. So the California bank stock fell nearly 44% on Wall Street after it announced it was going out of business. It is a collapse that will cost many investors dearly. Californian bank Silvergate announced its failure on March the 8th, which is earlier this week, confirming that its bet on the cryptocurrency industry had turned into a nightmare. The company announced its intent to wind down operations and voluntarily liquidate the bank in an orderly manner and in accordance with applicable regulatory processes, it said in a press release on March the 8th. It continued, in light of recent industry and regulatory developments, Silvergate believes that an orderly wind down of bank operations and a voluntary liquidation of the bank is the best path forward. Silvergate, which used to be known as the Crypto Bank, is the first U.S. bank to collapse since 2020, according to the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, a grantor for bank depositors. The announcement made after the close on Wall Street was followed by Silvergate shares tumbling nearly 44% to $2.76 in after-hours electronic trading. Silvergate stock is down 72% this year based on the March 8th closing price of $4.91. While Silvergate has indicated that it wants to return deposits to customers, it's unlikely that investors will get their investments back. So if you invested in cryptocurrency, I would really be cautious right now because this federal digital currency is getting ready to be rolled out, and these big banks are piloting this digital currency. And if I'm not mistaken, it's also being used with the universal basic income pilots that are going on in Chicago, California, and a couple of other places. So there are some pilots being done. You're not hearing a whole lot about it, but a lot of different things are happening. Keep your head on a swivel. It's just not a good time to be smoking and joking. And these banks are going to be taking people's money. They're going to be doing bail-ins. So the less you have in there, the less they can take. If you don't have any money, then you don't have anything to worry about. Again, there's no bashing on anyone. I'm just saying that, if you have wealth or assets in financial institutions, they're only going to, guarantee them for a certain amount, and they can pretty much do whatever they want to because the government is not going to bail them out anymore. So if the bank fails, you are going to lose money, especially if you have over the insured amount of $250,000. So diversify your money, take it out if you don't, need to have it stored someplace where you can't put your hand on it. And again, try to convert assets into something tangible that you can actually trade in the event that things go south in this country and all hell breaks loose. All right, folks, if you like this content, please like the video, share it, subscribe to this channel if you like this type of content. Also, subscribe to my Rumble and Odyssey channels in the event that this channel is pulled from YouTube because of censorship. Stay prayed up, keep prepping, and get your lives together, people. things are getting ready to start happening fast. Things are going to start happening fast. All right, I'm out.